Hi,
And
Ingrid. Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I have been in real estate since 2014. I left my corporate accounting job and went full-time into real estate, which was a little bit terrifying. It may be reckless, but around that time, maybe like 6 months in, I probably stumbled across LionDesk, which I think was pretty new back in those days, right? But I started using it, and I've been with you guys since then. So it's been just really great software to have in my wheelhouse since being a very new agent, now more established.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us, there's a lot of people out there who use LionDesk or who are wondering about LionDesk. How do you use it where it impacts your business the most?
I would say, as my business has grown, initially I used it for lead generation purposes, and I still do. But what I primarily use it for now is transaction management services. So I love the custom closing plan. So anytime a client of mine goes into escrow, I go ahead and generate that closing plan link and customize it, and then I'm able to use it on a weekly basis to show my clients, hey, this is where your file's at. And doing that has been really great, especially to build up reviews and streamline communication, and then using, of course, those reviews to get future clients by way of that. So I would say the transaction management tool has been, like, in the past 2 years, the biggest part of how I've used LionDesk, in addition to kind of more general lead generation services.
Well, today's going to be fun then. Stephen actually is going to walk you through the new transaction management platform that LionDesk is beta testing right now. So why don't we jump in, and we're excited to get your feedback, ask any questions that you want as we go throughout this.
Awesome, thank you.
all right, so let me go ahead and jump into my screen, share that with you all. All right, so here we are in the new LionDesk V2 platform. And so we really wanted to focus on transactions. You let us know that you had worked on it with the older platform and excited to use the new one. So we'll show you what is new, how it's better, and how you can benefit from it. So in transactions, you'll see that listed on the left-hand side. Towards the bottom, and here we are, so transaction types. So as you notice, it's a different look. It's going to be more customizable and a lot faster compared to the older platform. Not only that, so in the older platform, you had deals and then properties, and that really only tracked, one pipeline, right? Whether that was a purchase pipeline or like a seller pipeline, you were only really able to track one. In this new system, you can track up to 5. So you'll see right now in the first page that I have a pipeline specifically for my purchase, listings for sale, listings for lease. You can really even customize it and build your own. So you'll see the other 2 that we have, new agent onboarding and then recruiting. So these 2 we have as an example. So you can see that you can really custom create your own pipelines. So let's go ahead and dive into one that we already have available, which is the purchase. We will see that downward caret. So right now we have 2 deals in our purchase pipeline. When I click on that downward caret, it's going to expand right below, show us all the stages within. So right now we'll see qualified leads, prospecting, proposal, under contract, and then sold. So this is letting us know like which deal we have within which stage. So we have one in prospecting, one in proposal, and it's also tracking the sales and commission for each one. So you'll see the sales, we have $1 million, commission 30,000, and then so on. So within this, you'll be able to track it further in depth if you click on the pipelines at the top. So this is giving you a quick insight into all 5, but let's go ahead and really dive into each one. So when we click on pipelines, first thing it's going to ask you is which pipeline do you want to view into. So if you click on this drop down, you can select from any of the 5 you have available. And then it's going to expand that view. So we'll see the same pipeline we just saw, qualified, prospecting, proposal, under contract. And then not even that, we'll see the actual deals. So fit small, the sales and commission, Stephen's New Home, sales and commission. And we make it pretty simple for you to move each deal from stage to stage. So you can literally just drag and drop it to the next stage, right? So you move it all the way until they're under contract and eventually they're closed. So if we scroll to the right, we'll see the other ones sold. So let's just say Stephen's New Home got sold, right? Makes it super simple, easy to navigate. If we wanted to pull in the details of Stephen's New Home, we can just click on that actual deal and it's going to open up to that transaction, right? So you'll see right below the associated contacts. So in the older platform, if you remember, you can assign a deal or a property to a single contact. Now, if you look at our associated contacts, you can add more than just one. So right now we have David Wallace, and you can also assign a role to them. So right now I have David Wallace as a seller, and the one right below, I have them assigned as the buyer. So it definitely gives you a lot more flexibility. You can add more than just 2. You can keep adding, like, I believe up to like 10. So I'll double check on that, send you the exact dates, but you can upload as many contacts as you like within your deals. So if we were to click right below, we'll see the forms of what you add in. So contract info, the financials, so the sales commission percentage and the commission total, key contract dates, and then the property info. So all of this is captured when you first set up a transaction. So let's go ahead and do an example.
Okay.
Going back to the transactions. So again, we'll see our pipeline. Right below you will see that button, new transaction. So when you click on that, it's going to take you to this page. This is the only part you really need to fill out. Everything else, if you don't have it as of now, you can always go back and edit it later. So for the name, we'll just put in Ingrid's First Home. They ask us which type. So again, we have those 5 pipelines. Which one does it fall under? We'll go ahead and select purchase. And then the stage. So within this pipeline, we have all of these stages. Which one does it fall in? We'll select proposal. Next, it's going to come up with the property info. So country, street number, street name, and the unit number. So, just the basic info of their address. You will see view more options below. So when you click on that, you'll see the other things you can upload, city, state, zip, country, MLS number, and then so on. Bedrooms, square footage, school district, and so on. So there's definitely a lot of information that you can upload with these transactions, at least compared to the older platform. So I'll just put in street number, 100 Main Street, or 100 Main Street. Unit number, let's just put 10. When you press next, it's going to move on to key contract dates. So you'll see like a start date, closing date, inspection date, and then offer date. And again, you'll see view more options below. So for the closing date and inspection date, you can estimate it for now. There's no need to, it's not going to be set in stone. So for the closing date, let's go ahead and do it for next month. You can always update this later, right? So if you see the closing date going a little bit past the 11th, you can just go back and then select a different date. So we do have property plans just like in the older platform, and they're all going to be based off of these dates, the start, the closing, and the inspection dates. So you definitely want to at least have something in there. And again, if you need to update it, you always can. And so once we have a couple of dates listed, we'll go ahead and move on to next. And then it's going to come up with the financials, right? So what is the purchase and sales price? I'll just go ahead and put in $1 million. What's the commission percentage? I'll put in 3%. Oh, and I forgot a 0. Let me go back. And once you put in the percentage, it's going to auto-calculate on its own. So you'll see that in the pipeline sales commission, and it's going to show the commission percentage with the actual commission that you'll make from this deal. And then if you click on view more options, I know a lot of agents have asked about like sales commission split, sales side. So you have those options as well. Pressing next, you'll go into the contract info, transaction number, class, type, referral percentage, and then again, view more options below. And then when we press next, this is where we come with the interesting part. How many contacts can you assign to this transaction? This is linked to your database. So you just start typing in a name. Go ahead, put in Derek. And it's going to appear below. And again, like I mentioned before, you can add multiple contacts. So you just keep typing in the name. We put in David this time. Or if they're not already in your system, just click on Add New Contact, and you can create a new one from here. Right? You'll give it the role. So admin, appraiser, buyer, buyer's attorney, buyer's agent, and so on. So we just put in buying agent. The name, so this is Ingrid for now. Family name, and you'll see all the other information you'll put in, birthday, company, addresses, and so on. So as we scroll below, you'll see all of the information you can upload here. And we'll just go ahead and click on Add Contact. So now look at you get added to our list of contacts. So you will see admin listed on the right for each one. So if you did want to change the role, just click on admin and you'll see that drop-down menu appear. So let's go ahead and put buying agents, put buyer here, and then on this one we can put like seller. And so when you press next, you're pretty much done. At this point, you can continue adding more transactions just by clicking on add another transaction or click on finish and exit. So when we click on finish and exit, we'll see that it got added on. So it went from 2 to 3. When I click on that downward caret, it's going to show us below. Proposal now has 2 people in it. I can click on view items. And again, it's going to take me to that extended pipeline so we can actually see what's in there. So Fitzmaw, Ingrid's first home. And again, I can just push it through the pipeline as we close this deal. So with this one, I had mentioned before setting up property plans. So setting up your workflow, that way you can use that same workflow for each property. And you'll do that in the third tab, plans. So from here, you can create a new plan. Just give it a name. So let's just say, so this is our purchase pipeline, purchase property plan. Below that, it's going to ask us which type. So since you have 5 different pipelines, we want to make sure that we can only create specific plans for specific pipelines, right? So you can have one plan for your purchase, a different plan for your listing for sale, different plan for your listing for lease, and so on. So for this one specifically purchase, so let's go ahead and select purchase and then click on add an action. So from here, you have a couple of options. So you can send out an email, send out a text, or if you need to set yourself a reminder, you can click on task. So let's go ahead and start off with task first. You'll click on next, and it's going to ask you to set up the instructions, right? So let's go ahead, instructions, schedule home inspection. From there, we can click on next, and it's going to set up the due date. So on, before, or after any of the key contract dates that we have set up in the beginning, right? So you'll see the start date, closing date, inspection date, and then offer dates. If you clicked on view more options, you will see these other dates appear as well. So let's go ahead and click on start date. So schedule home inspection. Let's do it after the start date. So how many days after? Let's just put in 3. And then click on next. Select assignee. This is just going to default to yourself. If you are part of a team, though, you can assign it to somebody else within your team. So right now, it's only grayed out for me because I'm not part of a team, but you will be able to click on it as a drop-down menu to see your other team members. You can set yourself as a reminder. So you will see that box right below, set up a reminder, and you'll see the different options. So you can get an email reminder, text reminder, or a call reminder. Let me go ahead and select the text and then click submit. So that plan got added below. I'm gonna go ahead and search for purchase property plan. And I click on that, you'll see the first task come through. So schedule home inspection 3 days after the start date. So the idea of it is just building up that plan, like setting up your workflow from day one. What do you do when you first get a home all the way until you close it? So you'll continue clicking on adding an action. We are coming up with the email and also text. So let's go ahead and select email. At the moment, this is not going to pull in your templates, but we are, getting this up and ready. So hopefully by the end of this quarter, we'll have this all set up where you can select from different email templates. So if you click on new email template, you can just create a new one from here. And so with these emails, you can really build them up. So in that body of the email, you'll see that you have options to add in emojis. So you'll see that come through, right? You have a little line emoji if you like to use LionDesk. And then you can also add our, images. So insert images, just type in the URL link. Better yet, you can just copy and paste. So let me go ahead and just search for a Google image. Do lion, right? Going into the image, I can just copy any of these. And instead of having to add the URL, just Control V and it appears. All right, so we make it super simple, a lot simpler than the older platform. So once you're done with your template, you can then just scroll to the bottom and then click on Save. So we're still building this up, so that's why it's not letting us save at the moment. But the idea behind this is once you create that template, whether it's an email or a text message, you can send it to specific people. So we'll move on to, as we go through here, let's go ahead and see test. Right, so this wouldn't let us continue until we have those pulled over, but just something to look forward to. You will be able to create these templates, emails, and text messages and send them to specific people. So I want to send this email specifically to the buyer. I want to send this text message specifically to the seller. That way you don't have to go in and do it yourself. The system will automatically do it for you. So currently, yeah.
The previous one, I would have to set myself up a task to like send buyer information on what is a home inspection. So this would do it automatically.
Yes, exactly. So no need for that. We are building it up. So hopefully at the end of this quarter, you'll have those listed, but you will have the option to email and then also text.
Okay.
And so once you build up your plan, you can then assign it to any of the properties or any of the transactions you have uploaded. So simply going onto the dashboard, selecting which property you want to use it to. So we have it under the purchase, proposal. Let's go ahead and use this one, since this one's still within the proposal. We open up that transaction. So again, you'll see all the associated contacts. You'll see all the details you added, so the forms. And then right here, we have the transaction plan actions. We haven't triggered it yet, but it'll be pretty simple. Just scroll to the top of this page and you will see Start Plan. So all the plans that you create, you'll click on that and you'll see them appear in the drop-down menu. Just select which one you want to trigger, and then you'll see that check mark once it's complete. So as we scroll below, you will see all of your plans and the tasks laid out, as well as all the emails and text messages that you have scheduled out to send. So that's our new transaction platform. So the biggest thing about it is being, customizable, being able to track whatever pipeline you wish to create, whether that's purchase, selling, listing for sale, listing for lease, or if you want to custom create your own new ones, you'll see that you can do so just like we did, new agent onboarding and then recruiting. Awesome, Ingrid. So that does wrap up transactions. Any questions about what we covered today?
No, I don't think so. I think you guys really hit the nail on the head with how to improve the deals section, because even just automating the emails that go out and in fact adding text functionality is so practical and phenomenal and intuitive, which is great.
Definitely. I'm super excited about those plans. Like, I've always heard agents talk about, like, I want the email to auto trigger, I want the text message to auto trigger. Now it does.
Oh, it's really nice. Yeah. Because I can show you my old one, here's my task for send out an email about what's an appraisal, what's a home inspection. And that would just obviously save myself the time of even checking off the task that's done, because I would know that it already went out. Ideally in the morning too, because if I get that task and then I have to manually send out that email, it's not, I could schedule it, but it's more getting around to it. So it's nice. Probably saves like 30 minutes of time right there.
Definitely. Awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and close this screen.
Good.